Crisis DN here, coming at you with another Hockey Parenting 101 video. In today's video, it's grab bag day. I've run out of equipment stuff to really talk about, at least that could fill more than like a minute a piece, so I got a few more things to talk about. I'm just going to throw them all together in one lump video, and so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about is mouth guards. Talked about the neck guard in a previous video, how important. You know what? I don't know if I did talk about a neck guard. Did I talk about a neck guard? Crap. Let me look at my list of stuff. You know what? Didn't talk about a neck guard, so I'm going to throw that in there too. So neck guards. So neck guards, if you're in Canada, are required. If you watch hockey other than your child playing, if you watch, especially if you watch if you're not from Canada, I'm sorry, if you're American, if you watch Canadian hockey, especially like junior tournaments, you'll see the players all have a neck guard because it is mandated. I did spend some time up in Canada, and my son played up there, and he was required to wear a neck guard. Having said that, even if you're not required to wear a neck guard, I highly recommend it. All you have to do is search some videos about skate cuts to the neck, and I'm sure two very popular ones will come up. One is a Bruins goalie back in the early 80s. I think it was the early 80s that got cut pretty bad by a hockey skate, almost bled out on the ice. If it wasn't for quick thinking by a trainer at the rink, he would not have survived. And then a more recent one, I think was in the early thousands, Richard Zednick. You could look that up. He took a skate blade, got kicked up underneath the neck and severed or sliced his carotid artery as well. And he was able to make it to the bench, but he left a trail of blood behind him. So it's no joke. We talked about skate sharpening. You're sharpening the skates. They're like knives. You're skating on knives. So if they come up and clip you anywhere, but especially around the neck area, that's dangerous. So the neck guard is there. It's just a material. It's a collar essentially. Well, I think most of them are Velcro. I haven't seen anything other than Velcro. That Velcro around your neck. Highly recommend it. We require our kids to wear them. Whether or not they wear them all the time, got to keep an eye on them because you got to get used to it, or it's just you forget because it's like a little piece of equipment that's not necessarily. You're not going to miss it if you're out on the ice and playing, but it is an important piece of safety equipment. It does protect the neck area from taking a skate blade. So definitely recommend a neck guard for your son or daughter playing, or your youth player if you're a guardian, not necessarily the parent, grandparent, uncle, aunt, whatever, taking them to the rink. Make sure they got a neck guard. Mouth guards. So mouth guard can be any. It's a mouth guard that could be used for any sport. It doesn't have to be a hockey-specific mouth guard. I don't even know if they make a hockey-specific mouth guard. It's just a sports guard. So anything, shock doctor, any kind of mouth guard. But mouth guard is used to prevent concussions, just like it is in football. So, and most of the time those are required. I think USA Hockey requires them. So they have to have a mouth guard. I can tell you, being around the rinks, that referees don't always enforce that. But if they're watching and they find out your son or daughter doesn't have a mouth guard, they'll kick them off the ice. So I recommend that you just have it so you don't ever have to worry about it. There's at least one time every season where the refs are looking for mouth guards. Even if they have them, if they don't have them in their mouth, like my daughter is bad about using them as a chew toy, almost like a squeak toy. It's hanging out half out her mouth, chewing on it, and it's not serving any purpose other than something to chew on. So yeah, mouth guards. So just make sure. I mean, there's sports you can buy mouth guards at the store. Like I said, Walmart, Sports Authority. Sports Authority. I'm dating myself. Dick's Sporting Goods, not Sports Authority. Probably won't find one of those open anymore. And then you just bring them home, follow directions, boil them. Basically, boil them, get them hot where they're soft and malleable, and then they put them in their mouth and bite down, suck out the air, and then there they got their form-fitted mouth guard. There's also, you can get from your dentist, you can get actual mouth guard. You know, if you're an adult that grinds their teeth, you can get a night guard. Same kind of idea. They'll do a mold of your teeth and give you a perfectly fitting mouth guard. It's definitely better than something you can do yourself at home, but there's a hefty price that comes along with that. Unless one of your hockey parents, co-parents, that has a kid on your team is a dentist, which my son, we had that fortune happen to us in high school, and he gave the kids free mouth guards. It was great. Even got to choose color, so it was awesome. But definitely need a mouth guard, and make sure they fit, make sure they're wearing them, because it does help prevent severe concussions. Jock or Jill. So here's another safety piece of equipment. So for boys, it's just like I said with mouth guards, it's kind of a standard thing across sports. You want a jock to protect the your private parts. But one thing specific about hockey, though, they do make hockey shorts. I mean, you could use their jock strap if you wanted to, but they do make specific hockey shorts that have a way to put a jock in them. Has a compartment, a pocket that they can put the cup in. They usually come with them. And then what's nice about the shorts is they also have Velcro at the bottom for your socks. So when you put the jock on, and then you put your knee and shin pad combo on, when you pull your socks up, you can actually fasten the top of your socks and hold your socks in place with the Velcro that comes on these shorts. So definitely recommend them. I know Bauer makes them. I actually think Shock Doctor actually has their own brand as well. So definitely recommend those. And for girls, they don't necessarily need a jock, but they still need something to protect that area. They call it a Jill, which is kind of like the same idea. It's a protective. I've found Bauer shorts as well. Same idea with the Velcro, but definitely that's another area of protection that the other equipment like pants don't protect against. The pants in the groin area, hockey pants, all it is material. There's no padding, so you definitely want to have your kid have a jock or a Jill to protect from getting hit with a stick or a puck or a knee or anything while they're out there, because they will make contact with other players, and you just want to make sure they're protected. Hockey bag. So we talked about all this gear. That's a lot of gear. I can tell you that some kids, especially as they're younger, it's easier just to get them dressed at home and then just take their skates off and have them get undressed at home. But for the most part, your kid's going to do all that at the rink. So they're going to need a bag to carry all that gear, because trying to carry that with your hands is going to be clumsy and aggravating. So definitely need to get a hockey bag. There's several different kinds of hockey bags. One, there's a difference between a player bag and a goalie bag. As you can attest to, after you've been to the rink a few times, the goalie has much larger gear. Leg pads, glove, and blocker all larger than what a normal player wears. They got that larger mask, and then they got all this body armor. So they have a lot of hefty, big, bulky gear. So they need a larger bag. So if your player's a goalie, make sure you're getting the larger bag. If you're not a goalie, there's a smaller player's bag. And then they do range in sizes from youth to adult. Adult bags are obviously larger than youth bags. So just keep that in mind when you're buying a bag. You don't necessarily need an adult hockey bag for your youth players' gear. It'll just be a big bulky bag that's mostly air, like a bag of Frito-Lays. So just keep that in mind. There's different bag types. There's a wheeled versus non-wheeled. So some bags have wheels, like almost like a piece of luggage, where they have wheels on the one side end of the bag and then a handle on the other end to allow the player to just pick up one end and wheel it behind them. Definitely recommend that for smaller players, especially if you don't want to carry their bag. It allows them to, you get the bag out of the car, and then they can wheel it to the locker room and then wheel it back to the car when you're done. So definitely recommend a wheeled bag. You have what's called upright bags that have wheels. and they'll stand upright and almost act like a mini locker, which is great if you play in a rink that has very limited locker room space and it's hard to just drop your bag in a spot because there's too many players in a small locker room. And so you can get one of these locker, like upright locker bags. It's made of a material, but it's also got rigid pockets inside it, so they maintain their shape. So we've had one of those bags before. I could tell you it seems nice, but they break down rapidly. And then also my kids didn't really like them that much because not very many kids have them. Most kids have just regular canvas bags, maybe some wheeled. So he just didn't. That bag lasted like a year or two, I think. And then we just went to regular canvas hockey bag. So what else about bags? If you get a regular canvas bag with just canvas, like regular material handles, my daughter's using a bag like that this year. So it kind of hurts when she's carrying her bag with the equipment in. Like there's a pressure point on her shoulder, like 2 pressure points for the 2 handles. So it's bothering her. A great trick that I learned last year, we just bought this bag this year, so I haven't done it yet. But last year we saw some players that actually took pool noodles, like this one. This one's a little bit too fat for it, so I haven't used this one. I did order a skinnier pool noodle, like a skinnier diameter pool noodle. What you do with these pool noodles is like this one, you would cut it in half. This is like a, 5-foot long pool noodle. Cut it in half and then make a slice down lengthwise, and then you would just put it over the handles, and then you would use your hockey tape and tape them in place, and then that becomes a great way to cushion those handles to carry on your shoulders. The kids that we've talked to that have done that, it's like makes a huge difference. So as soon as this pool noodle comes in from Amazon, I'm going to do that for my daughter, so hopefully I'll have them by this weekend, so she's not complaining about the handles digging into her shoulders. Next thing, repair kit. So I highly recommend you have a general hockey repair kit. I don't know if you've noticed, but you have helmet that has a lot of screws, and if you're not paying attention and tightening those once every month or so, they'll eventually get loose and they'll disappear. Or the stuff gets wet and it stays wet and it gets rusted and corroded, and then those things break. And they break, of course, when you need to snap them, like right before a game. They hardly ever break in practice, always break before a game. Murphy's Law. So I recommend a general repair kit. And what I would have in the repair kit, well, one, you can buy them on Hockey Monkey. The big thing is the helmet repair kit. It has extra helmet screws, extra chin strap pieces, snaps, grommets, things like that for the helmet. That's the big hitter. You have screws sometimes when hockey skates, with the race is held in by the blade is held in to the truck, the chassis, by screws. So those are other screws that you want to make sure that you have spares for. So if you're going to make your own kit, you get a helmet, screws, which you can buy. I have a helmet repair kit from Hockey Monkey. Plus, I have my own Phillips and flathead screwdrivers. I have extra tape, and I have extra tape for a stick, and then I have extra tape just in a pinch if you need to tape something. Like if a chin strap breaks and you don't have the necessary piece to fix it with, you can DIY and rig it with tape and at least get you through the game. I also have extra laces because sometimes laces break. They're just shoelaces. You tie them all the time, like really tight, and or they get cut by a skate blade. You need new laces. Pro shop may not be open for a 7 a.m. game, so it's better to have that stuff ready to go. And I can tell you that not only does it come in handy for myself, but there's other parents there that don't have a repair kit that need help, and I'm happy to help. It's nice to be able to help them out in a pinch. But I always tell them it's super easy. Just put your own repair kit together, so you never have to worry about it. That's it on the repair kit. Last recommendation I'll make for this grab bag is a drying rack. I don't know if you've noticed, probably not if your child's pretty small yet. If when they're skating, they're going to sweat, even if it's cold and it's 30 degrees outside. They go to the rink. It's not much warmer inside the rink. They're on ice, but when they skate, they're gonna sweat, and they're gonna get warm and they're gonna sweat. So the equipment, when they take it off, is gonna be wet. If you leave it in the bag, it's gonna eventually start to smell, or they play another game like the next day and it's been in their bag all night. It's wet and it's gonna be wet and cold. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's definitely gonna start to stink over time. So the best way to mitigate that or fight that is a drying rack. You could buy drying racks from Hockey Monkey. They're not very good quality, probably. They don't look like they're very good quality. They're pretty pricey. You can go online and probably Amazon hockey equipment drying rack. What I did was Googled hockey equipment drying rack, do-it-yourself drying rack, and what'll come up probably is a pretty cool drying rack that's made of plumbing piping, PVC piping, the white stuff, for your drain piping. That stuff works great, and it's super easy to do. Super easy to do it yourself. If you have a saw, that's all you need. You can there's directions. Just Google search hockey do-it-yourself DIY hockey drying rack, and there'll be many different designs that come up. And just pick one that's with PVC piping. It's super easy. It's few cuts, a lot. It tells you exactly what to buy. You can glue it or not glue it. I don't glue it, so I can take them down in the off season and put them away, so they're taking up space. And then I just put them back up like Legos, or not like Legos. What are those? It was when I was a kid. The little the wheels and the sticks to make. Yeah, I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, super easy to put back together, and it allows you to hang up all your gear, from skates to helmet. It hangs it and allows it to dry. You can even get fancy and drill holes in the pipes, and then you can hook a blow dryer attachment to it and then force dry it. I don't think that's necessary. Most of the time the equipment dries overnight, no problem. But definitely recommend a drying rack to dry out your gear, to limit the uncomfortableness of wearing wet gear the next day, or just in general trying to prevent that odor. I mean, eventually the kids are going to get so old where it's not going to matter, or if they're playing all weekend and the hockey bag's sitting in a hotel, it's still going to happen. But at least for the most part, you can try to prevent some of that. And I think that is it for this video. So that's it, hockey grab bag. Next videos I'm going to start focusing on what you should look for around the rink with your coach, and how they're running practices, and how games are run, and just things like that, so you can get more familiar with what you should expect to see, or what you hope you expect to see at the rink. So this is Crisis DN again. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I made a video just a little bit ago. I got a subscriber. I'm super excited about that. I'm hoping to see more, so please hit that like button. Hit subscribe as well, and tune in for some more videos. If you have any ideas on what you want me to talk about, let me know, and I will we'll gladly do that. So again, Crisis DN, signing off.